The weakest Neanderthal woman alive 40,000 years ago could probably outlift an Olympic weightlifter today. Not the strongest one, the weakest. That's not an exaggeration, that's what the bones say. Scientists don't guess at ancient strength, they measure it directly, in the bones themselves. Every time a muscle contracts hard against bone, it leaves a mark, a ridge, a thickening, a scar of force repeated thousands of times. Your bones are soft compared to theirs, not because you're weak as a species, because you've never had to be anything else. Researcher Colin Shaw at the University of Cambridge spent years comparing the arm bones of ancient humans to modern athletes. He found something the headlines loved to repeat: the leg bone strength of early farmers, people who spent their days walking and working the land, matched that of modern trained cross-country runners. And that was the farmers. The hunter-gatherers before them were stronger still. Now think about your own legs for a second. When was the last time you walked further than the distance to your car? Ancient humans routinely covered 10, 15, sometimes 20 miles a day on foot over uneven terrain, often carrying something heavy the entire way. Not as exercise, as Tuesday. But it's not just walking. Anthropologist Jay Stock, who worked alongside Shaw, studied the upper body strength of ancient populations and found grip strengths that modern rock climbers would envy. Why? Because throwing a spear hard enough to kill an animal twice your size isn't optional. It's dinner. Every single joint, every tendon, every fiber of muscle in an ancient human's arm was built by a childhood and adulthood of repeated, brutal, unavoidable physical demand. Here's the part that should genuinely bother you. This isn't about genetics. Ancient humans didn't have stronger DNA than you. Study after study confirms that a modern human raised in the same physical conditions, hunting, walking, climbing, lifting, from childhood, would develop the exact same bone density and muscle strength. The difference isn't in your blood, it's in your environment. You were simply never asked to become strong. Think about that for a second. Somewhere inside you is the same biological blueprint that built a body capable of running down prey animals for hours in the heat, capable of climbing trees for both food and safety, capable of surviving falls, fights, and physical labor that would put most modern humans in a hospital. That blueprint never left. It's just been sitting there, unused, for your entire life. And it's not only raw strength, it's resilience. Paleopathologist studies of ancient skeletons regularly find broken bones that healed completely. Sometimes multiple fractures on the same person, healed and re-strengthened. Evidence of survival through injuries that today would mean surgery, physical therapy, and months out of work. They didn't have any of that. They just kept moving, because stopping wasn't survivable either. So why did we lose all of this? The answer isn't some tragic decline. It's the opposite of tragic. It's convenience. Every single tool, machine, vehicle, and appliance you use exists to remove physical demand from your life. That's not a flaw in modern civilization. That's the entire point of it. But your body doesn't know the difference between "I don't need to be strong" and "I can't be strong." It just responds to what you ask of it, or don't. Here's where it gets interesting. Modern strength researchers now understand that most humans today are living in what's essentially a state of trained weakness, not because of age or genetics, but because of chronic underuse. Physiologist studies on modern sedentary populations found measurable bone density loss within just weeks of reduced physical activity, and measurable strength gains within weeks of resuming it. Your body is still listening. It's still capable of that ancient blueprint. It's just been asked politely for decades to please not bother. And maybe that's the real twist in all of this. You're not weaker than ancient humans because something was lost. You're weaker because something was never demanded of you in the first place. The strength was never taken away. It was simply never called upon. So the next time you watch a documentary about ancient humans hauling stone, running down animals, surviving winters with nothing but hide and fire, don't think of them as some separate, tougher species. Think of them as you, if life had asked something different of your body every single day since childhood. The blueprint is still there, sitting quietly inside you, waiting for a demand that modern life almost never makes.